If you're a man over 55, you already know what it feels like to wake up in the middle of the night, that familiar tug pulling you from sleep. Your feet hit the cold floor as you shuffle quietly down the hall to the bathroom, hoping the pressure will ease quickly. But it doesn't. Instead, there's that frustrating pause, that weak stream, the endless waiting as you stand there, half asleep, wondering if relief will ever come. For years, you've been told this is just part of getting older, that an enlarged prostate is inevitable, something you have to accept and endure. But what if that wasn't the whole truth? What if there was a way, a quiet, natural ally, to ease that pressure, to help shrink the prostate, and to bring back the restful nights you've been missing? Something so simple, it's been hiding in plain sight, right in your fruit bowl. I want to tell you a story about a man named Frank. Frank was a retired mechanic from Arizona, a tough, no-nonsense kind of guy who had spent decades working with his hands and living a simple, straightforward life. When Frank started waking up multiple times every night, when he noticed his once strong stream had become a hesitant trickle, he didn't say much. Embarrassment kept his struggles locked inside, a quiet battle fought in the dark while the rest of the house slept. But one day, during a visit, we had a conversation that changed everything for him. It wasn't about complicated treatments or expensive medications. It was about a fruit growing right outside his kitchen window. Something familiar, something natural. Frank's prostate issues were like a kink in a garden hose. The water couldn't flow freely, no matter how much pressure was applied. But just like carefully unkinking a hose, there are ways to gently relieve the blockage and restore that steady flow. It's not a quick fix or a miracle cure. It's a gradual, natural process that begins with understanding what's happening inside the body. The prostate, that small walnut-shaped gland nestled just below the bladder, plays an important role in male health. But as we age, it often grows larger. This growth can squeeze the urethra, the tube that carries urine from the bladder out of the body, causing the symptoms so many men silently endure: urgency, frequency, weak flow, and restless nights. This condition, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, isn't dangerous like cancer, but it can steal away comfort and confidence. And here's the important part. While BPH is common, it's not an unchangeable fate. It's like a root slowly encroaching on a garden pipe, restricting flow. But with care and attention, that pressure can be eased. The question then becomes, how? What tools do we have to support the prostate without harsh chemicals or invasive procedures? The answer lies partly in nature, in a powerful fruit that's more than just a tasty snack. It's a fruit packed with a compound called lycopene, known for its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. This fruit is the tomato, especially when it's cooked. Lycopene is better absorbed after cooking, and it acts like a soothing balm inside the prostate, calming inflammation and reducing the oxidative stress that contributes to enlargement. Over years of research, studies have shown that men who consume more lycopene-rich foods tend to experience fewer prostate problems. But this isn't about hoping for a miracle from a single ingredient. It's about incorporating a simple, supportive step into your daily routine. Frank didn't start taking expensive supplements or follow complicated regimens. Instead, he began adding spoonfuls of tomato paste into his soups, stirring it into his eggs, or enjoying a warm bowl of tomato-based minestrone on cooler evenings. These small changes, rooted in tradition and backed by science, brought meaningful relief. Within weeks, Frank's nightly bathroom visits dropped from 4 to 1. He told me he felt like he had reclaimed a part of his life he thought was lost. Peaceful sleep, steady energy, and the quiet confidence that comes with feeling well. Why is it that so many men don't hear about this? Why don't doctors talk more about lycopene and natural support for the prostate? The truth is, medicine often leans heavily on prescriptions and procedures, the things that have been taught in textbooks and reimbursed by insurance. There's little incentive to discuss simple foods, even when they help. But after 3 decades working closely with men like Frank, I've learned to listen beyond the standard protocols. I've seen firsthand how these quiet solutions can make a loud difference. I'm Dr. Michael Hanks, and in my years of practice, I've come to believe that healing often starts at the dinner table. Prostate health is about more than just the physical symptoms. It touches the very core of a man's dignity, his vitality, his connection to the world around him. It can affect sleep, energy, intimacy, the rhythms that make life feel full. And when those rhythms falter, it's easy to feel isolated, frustrated, even defeated. But the good news is this: you're not broken and you're not powerless. Sometimes the body just needs the right signal, a gentle nudge to begin healing. That nudge can come from something as simple and accessible as a spoonful of tomato sauce. This small act can be a beginning, a step toward restoring balance and reclaiming the quality of life you deserve. In the next part of our conversation, I'll share more about how to incorporate this powerful fruit into your life in easy, practical ways. I'll explain why combining it with certain other foods can boost its benefits, and how you can create meals that not only nourish your body but also bring comfort and joy. Most importantly, I'll help you understand why these natural approaches are often overlooked and how you can take control of your prostate health in a way that feels honest, manageable, and hopeful. So stay with me, because the journey toward better health and better nights is closer than you think. What Frank discovered was simple, yet profound. He didn't need to overhaul his entire diet or spend hours preparing special meals. Instead, he made small adjustments that fit naturally into his daily life. Adding cooked tomatoes, rich with lycopene, became a habit. He learned that cooking the tomatoes was key. Heat breaks down the cell walls, releasing more lycopene for the body to absorb. Pairing them with a little olive oil helped too, since lycopene is fat-soluble. A drizzle of olive oil on his tomato dishes wasn't just delicious, it was a natural enhancer. This quiet ritual didn't just nourish his prostate, it became a comforting part of his routine, a moment of self-care that Frank came to cherish. Frank's journey was about much more than just changing his diet. It was about reclaiming a part of himself that had been quietly slipping away, the confident, energetic man he once was. When he told me how those frequent nighttime trips left him drained and frustrated, it wasn't just about physical discomfort, it was the toll on his spirit, the fatigue, the irritation, the quiet erosion of hope. But as he began to see even small improvements, waking fewer times at night, feeling more rested, something shifted inside him. He told me one morning, smiling for the first time in months, "I feel like I'm getting me back." That return of vitality was about more than symptoms. It touched his whole life, lifting his mood, his energy, and his confidence. Biologically, this makes perfect sense. The prostate doesn't exist in isolation. It's a hub where hormones, blood flow, and immune responses intersect, each affecting not only urinary function but also energy, libido, and mood. When the prostate is inflamed or enlarged, it creates a kind of internal stress that disrupts these systems. This chronic inflammation sends ripples through the body, affecting sleep quality and hormone levels, including testosterone. The resulting imbalance often makes men feel tired and less vital, compounding the frustration of the physical symptoms. What Frank discovered was also the healing power of ritual and intention. His tomato and olive oil habit wasn't just about nutrition. It became an act of self-respect, a daily moment of care that reminded him he mattered. This quiet commitment is often overlooked but is crucial for lasting health. The men I've worked with who find real improvement are those who build these gentle, consistent habits that honor their bodies and minds. It's not about perfection or drastic changes. It's about steady, mindful steps that reconnect you to your own strength. Digging deeper into how lycopene works reveals why cooked tomatoes are so beneficial. Lycopene is a potent antioxidant that helps neutralize harmful free radicals responsible for cell damage and inflammation in the prostate. Over time, this damage contributes to enlargement and urinary difficulties. But antioxidants like lycopene don't act alone. Their effectiveness depends on the body's internal environment. Healthy fats, such as those in olive oil, help the body absorb lycopene more efficiently, which is why Frank's simple pairing was so effective. It wasn't just what he ate, but how he ate it. Beyond the physical, chronic prostate issues also affect mental health. The embarrassment and discomfort often trigger anxiety and social withdrawal, creating a cycle that feeds into itself. Healing requires addressing this emotional burden as well. Frank's story reminds us that vulnerability is a form of strength. Facing health challenges openly and seeking support can break the isolation many men feel and pave the way toward real recovery. Moreover, inflammation in the prostate is part of a larger picture of systemic inflammation that contributes to many chronic diseases as we age, including heart disease and diabetes. The foods supporting prostate health, like tomatoes and olive oil, are also linked to broader anti-inflammatory benefits. This means adopting such habits benefits your whole body, not just one organ. Frank noticed this too. As his prostate symptoms eased, his energy improved, and his overall sense of well-being grew. Frank's experience teaches us the importance of slowing down and tuning into our body's messages. It's not just about symptom management, it's about reclaiming balance and dignity. He learned to listen closely to how foods affected him, how rest restored him, and how small, consistent choices made a difference. This awareness is a powerful tool that can help guide every man through his health journey. Finally, this deeper understanding helps explain why so many men hesitate to seek help. The shame and isolation around prostate issues can feel overwhelming, but sharing stories like Frank's can lighten that burden. When men talk openly, whether with loved ones or healthcare providers, they reclaim power over their health and remind each other they are not alone. As you continue on your journey, remember, healing is a mosaic of small, intentional choices, patience, and self-compassion. The quiet, natural steps that helped Frank can help you too, not just to manage symptoms, but to restore vitality, confidence, and hope. But the power of this fruit isn't just in the lycopene. Tomatoes also contain other nutrients like vitamin C, potassium, and folate, which contribute to overall health. When combined with other prostate-friendly foods like zinc-rich pumpkin seeds or the healthy fats found in nuts, these nutrients work together to support the delicate balance inside the prostate. Frank didn't have to buy fancy supplements or follow complicated plans. He simply chose meals that included these ingredients, enjoying food that was wholesome and satisfying. This wasn't about deprivation or restriction. It was about restoring life's pleasures while quietly supporting his body's healing. Yet despite these natural solutions, why is there such silence around them? It's a question many men ask. The medical system often focuses on drugs and surgery, treatments that come with their own costs and risks. Natural approaches don't have the same financial incentives, but that doesn't mean they aren't effective. After decades of experience, I've seen how these simple changes can dramatically improve quality of life, easing symptoms and restoring hope. It's time to break the silence and bring these conversations into the open. Because men deserve to know all their options, especially the ones that come without side effects or invasive procedures. This silence can also be tied to how we talk about men's health in general. Many men struggle quietly, carrying worries about vitality, circulation, and intimacy. They feel embarrassed or reluctant to share, fearing judgment or misunderstanding. But acknowledging these issues is the first step toward healing. Frank's story reminds us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the courage to face challenges and take control in small, meaningful ways. When we open up, we find we are not alone. There is a community of men walking this path together, seeking practical, respectful guidance that honors their experience. Prostate health touches so many parts of life, from the simple joy of a full night's sleep to the confidence of intimacy shared with a partner. When these rhythms falter, it's easy to feel like the years have stolen something precious. But healing isn't about turning back the clock. It's about reclaiming control over the parts of life we can influence, about finding peace in the present moment. The body remembers how to heal, but it needs our attention and kindness. Food can be a form of medicine, yes, but also a source of comfort and connection. A bowl of tomato-rich soup can become a symbol of care, a way to honor your body's wisdom and resilience. If this message resonates with you, know that small steps can lead to meaningful change. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Begin by simply adding a spoonful of cooked tomatoes to your meals. Notice how it feels to care for yourself in this gentle way. And if you find value here, consider sharing this knowledge with a friend or family member who might also be struggling in silence. There's power in community and in shared wisdom. The path to better prostate health is not one you have to walk alone. Remember, you deserve to live fully, with restful nights, steady energy, and confidence in your body's strength. My hope is that by embracing these simple, natural steps, you'll find relief and renewed vitality. I'm Dr. Michael Hanks, and I'm here to walk with you on this journey. Aging doesn't mean surrender. It means learning new ways to thrive. The fruit in your kitchen, the meals you share, the small choices you make every day, they are all part of your healing story. Take that first step and trust that nature still holds the key to your well-being. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this message helpful, please consider sharing it with someone who might need it. And if you want to learn more about natural ways to support men's health, stay connected. Your body, your health, your life, they're worth every moment of care.